Hi and welcome to Take Time to Create. This is where we take time out of our everyday lives to create new and wonderful things. So here's the start of an art journal page, and I roughly sketched in some mountains. Not very good, very rough. It's with pencil. That way I kind of know what's going on. My camera's like, oh, we can't focus on that. So what we're going to do is first paint the background. I'm going to be using Dylusions paints. I have black marble, crushed grape, and I have not used this one yet. Let me open it up. I really like the consistency of the Dylusions paint. I like how it works, and so we're going to create this background sky. We also have London blue, bubblegum pink, and a vibrant turquoise. And what we're going to do is kind of create the lighter colors here, the pink, the purple, the turquoise, the darker blue, and then we're going to go into the black and make a kind of a gradient with that. I'm using a sponge to paint it. I have these cheap cosmetic wedges that come from the Dollar Tree, and I like to use them, and I'm just going to use one per color. Each one has their own, and I have an old pattern instructions down here, so if I need to blot off anything, I will do it on there. And you know, like I said, I kind of have my my mountains here, so I know where they are. And I also have white linen, and I can use this paint to dilute. I'm probably going to dilute the black as well. And yeah, that's just what we're gonna do. So let me get started. I bought a set of these Dylusions paints off of Amazon a while ago, and of course I use some colors more than others. And I really am enjoying them. I like the consistency. It's a little thinner than other paints. I like how it just blends, it goes on smooth. So yeah, it's really great. And I have to say, a little goes a really long way. I have been using this paint for a while, and I still have so much left. It goes so far, which is really cool. Now, of course, like with anything, if you do not have the same paints, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Go ahead and use whatever you have, and yeah, just go to town. Anyway, I know you can't see me reaching for the color, and I'm just actually using what's in the lid, and I'm just kind of swirling around. So I have an initial layer down, and I'm going to use a baby wipe and kind of blend it all together. I really like the baby wipe technique. It works really well with the Dylusions paint, and it just kind of blends it all together. It was looking like a hot mess at first, but now we've got a little bit more kind of all blended out. All right, so there we go, kind of night sky, galaxy-ish, whatever's going on. I just love those colors, and that's what I wanted to use. Now I'm just taking the white Dylusions. I'm not even diluting it with water. I'm just going straight in with a paintbrush and flicking to get some stars on. There we go. That's what that looks like. Okay, I'm loving this. So cute. All right, next I want to paint the mountains. I'm just starting with black at the bottom, and I'm really glad I drew the faint lines on, because you know, I can really see it now. Actually, I can't, but that's okay. I'm just gonna kind of you know, paint some mountains-ish. I want to add some gray into my mountains. I think that they will work a little better if there's just a little bit of gray. So I'm putting some white and then keeping my white brush clean, and then I'm just going to dip it into the black. It's a pretty dark gray, and I'm just gonna kind of highlight the tops of my mountains with gray just to kind of give it that little bit of difference. Blending down with black, and not very scientific with this at all. Just really enjoying painting mountains and painting, you know, painting this whole little scene here. Now I look up in my camera and it's hard to see this difference, but up close you can definitely tell. I just didn't want it so stark black. Now if you like that, please leave it. And if you want to maybe add just a tiny bit of red, that always looks really good with the black, and you know, give it just a tiny bit of another color. Okay, let me hold it up, and you really can't see that it's just a tiny bit grayer. It really is, I promise, it's a tiny bit grayer. Okay, so on to the next step. This needs to be dried, so I'm going to use my heat tool and dry it, and then on to the next step. Alright, so this is pretty well dry, and now I want to add some interest to the sky. So I have this stencil. If I can find it, I will link it down below. It's the Donna Downey, and it's Flourish number 2. And I love the stencil. Obviously, it's in pretty gross condition, but I do love it. And I'm using modeling paste. This is Thinnabar Art Basics modeling paste. Any modeling paste will do. I really like the opaque because I'm going to do stuff over the top of this. Just kind of press it down, and I'm using a silicone brush as well. And this is one of Thinnabar silicone brush. A lot of words in there. I like her silicone brush, especially for stencils. I think it works really well, but use what you have. If you don't have one of these silicone brushes, no big deal. Credit card would work. Oh yeah, that's so cool up in the sky there. Anyway, credit card would work, or you know, other brushes, or you know, just use what you have. Big fan of using what you have. No need to go buy everything. A lot of people think that they need to go buy all the new latest and greatest, but that is really not the case. And this will need to be 100% dry before the next technique, so use your heat tool to dry it, or you can just let it air dry, which is always fine as well. I usually let modeling paste air dry if I can. I find it just dries a little better, but that is completely up to you. Okay, I moved it a little bit. Now, if you have some spots like I do right here that kind of mushed, you can just leave it, which is just fine. Or you can just take a Q-tip, that's a Q-tip, and just kind of smush it around and just kind of clean up the edges. I buy the cotton swabs in bulk from the Dollar Tree. I don't think I'd ever use these in my ears, but you're not supposed to anyway, but I would, I don't know. I mean, yes, these are fine for makeup. They're fine for some other things, but they work really great for cleaning up some edges if your stencil had some stuff on the underneath, which happens every once in a while. All right, there we have that. Let me let this dry completely. Then we will move on to the next steps. So while this is drying, I'm going to work in the mountains here. I'm going to add some mixed media elements. The first thing I want to do is add my quote, and I'm just going to use some double sticky tape, and then I'll probably use some matte medium to go over it, just to really make sure it's adhered down. But I'm going to wait till the very end, and I'm going to use matte because the acrylic paint is pretty matte. So I'm going to use the quote, "Somewhere, something incredible is waiting to be known, Carl Sagan." I love this quote. It is just a fabulous quote. I just printed it up on my computer, and I just, that's all I did with it. It's just printed it up on my computer, And so then I could cut it out, and then I can cut it out as many times as I want. I have quite a few quotes. If anybody's interested, and if it's something you guys might be interested in, I could share that document on my blog if you guys are like, yeah, I really would like these quotes. It's about 2 pages, and I have them all in black, and I'm going to turn them all into white too, so that just in case I want the same quote in another color, so black or white, but I wanted the black here with this. So if that's something you guys are interested in and you would like to download all my quotes that I've already typed, let me know in the comments and I will just put them on my blog and you guys can download them at any time. Alright, so I've got the quote down, and the best part about the quotes that I print is I can cut them any way I want. So there we go. That is down. So I want to add some flowers down to the bottom. And I have this really pretty washi tape. Don't know where I got it. Don't remember. If I can find this or one that's similar. But look how pretty this is. Look how pretty. That is so pretty. If I can find one that is similar, I will let you guys know. Like I said, I don't know. I don't remember where I got it. That's the problem with washi tape. I think we're all in that same boat. We all have too much washi tape. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take pieces, because I'm going to put it all the way across the bottom. I don't want it too perfect. And how the washi tape is that, camera's going to focus? Who knows? But we've got the flowers, but I'm going to just kind of rip off the top, so it's a little bit of a jagged top edge. That way it's not so perfect. I think it'll just look better, and it'll blend better because we've got the stark white. And then we have this, well, we got the stark black, excuse me, the stark black mountains. And then this is a little bit white, but it's going to be a little transparent. It's not fully opaque. It kind of comes through a little bit. So I'm going to just kind of put it here on the bottom. And you can see it turns out a little gray. Let me hold this up so you can see how that looks. So you can see the black through, and I really like that. I think it looks good. It's kind of fun, kind of a little different. And I'm okay with just cutting up the pieces and just going to town with it, because I don't want it all perfect all the way across, and having one big piece of washi tape, it'll just get tangled. So this works better. Any washi tape you have that's kind of floral-ish will work just fine. Use up your washi tape. If you're like me, you have way too much washi tape. If you're like me, you probably have bins and bins, and it's just way too much. So please use it all up. Let's not save this stuff. The rainy day is now. The adhesive kind of starts to go bad after a while, so we want to make sure we use it all up. Now if the adhesive is a little bad, matte medium works just fine. Mod Podge, glue stick, double sticky tape, anything, it all works just fine to adhere it down. Well, I kind of have it a little bit right at the edge of Carl Sagan, but you can still read who the quote is attributed to. And I'm just going to trim the edge. I know they said this is an art journal page, but this is a page I cut out of my other art journal. I did the art journal tour. This is some of the remaining pages at the end of it. Yeah, the art journal just gets so big, so puppy. This is actually my practice one for the Sisterhood of the Traveling Art Journal. This theme for this journal is a word or a quote that really means something important to you, and this is the quote I chose because, well, yes, I love that quote very much. I just think it works well for me. I'm an adventurer by nature, and so this is perfect. Alright, so this is all dry, and of course at any step if you feel that you want to stop, that is fine. I think it's kind of pretty with the swirls and the white. I like it, but I'm going to add some paint. I have some Finnabar Art Alchemy. I've got the acrylic paint that sparks, and I have some metallic paint. This is in the color Magical Pond. We have Midnight Sky. We have Romance Pink. I also have Dark Forest. I might use this on the ground. I'm not sure. Probably not. That one's kind of on a maybe pile. And then I have Raven Black, and this is a Sparks paint as well. And so what I'm going to do, shake them up a little bit, just because the colors kind of settle. Then I'm just going to take a small brush. This is one of the Finnabar Art Basics brushes. This is a number 4. And I am just going to kind of paint some of these pieces here. I'm just going to kind of go around what's already there. And I think I'm going to use the blue and the pink in the sky, just because I kind of like that and I want to add some sparkle. I'm just kind of following along the lines. It is definitely not going to be perfect, but I do like how it's going to turn out. So this of course will take a little while, but I'm going to go ahead and do this and add this really pretty detail. Now another way you can accomplish this is if you have any mica powders and you mix that in with your modeling paste. Now this is an opaque modeling paste, and so your color will not be as bright, but if you had a transparent modeling paste, your color will be just as bright. So if you have a mica powder and you mix it, that would work just fine and that would look really good as well. So that is an option too for those of you who would like to do that. Right, those are all painted now, and I love the metallic shimmer with it. I think it just adds a nice detail up there in the sky. Now if you don't have the metallic paint, you don't need those. You can use any paints that you have, or you know, like a gelato would work, or even, you know, markers would work. So whatever you have, watercolors would work. So whatever you have would work just fine. So use what you have. And use your stash, or any metallic paints would work. So yeah, that is always the goal. Use what's in your stash. Okay, so we're going to work on the mountains now. So what we're going to do is we're going to work at the mountains, and I have some rhinestones, some shiny gems. They're just plastic gems. And I got the larger ones from the Dollar Tree, and I'm not sure where I got the smaller ones. I think on Amazon in a mixed pack. So I will link those down below if I can find them, but I wanted to add some flowers down below. I'm just going to hot glue them. So yeah, I'm going to place them on here first and kind of get an idea of what I want to do, and then I am just going to hot glue them, because I think that that's a very easy way to put on these kind of gems for an art journal page. I don't worry too much about it. All right, we have some pretty gems down at the bottom. Lots of glue strings. Any glue will work that will adhere it down. Not just hot glue, but you know, really anything you have that should work. Now I'm going to take some stickles. This is in the color gunmetal. I'm going to add some dots around just because I think that will make it nice and just give it a little more detail and interest. All of the little stickle dots. I'm loving it, and I think I'm going to flip this around so I don't run my hand in the stickles. I'm going to take some of the Raven Black. I have this flat 1/4 inch brush from Finnabar, and I am going to paint the top of the mountains. I want them still black. I still want them like a silhouette, but I want to add a little bit of detail, a little bit of sparkle, just to set them off just a little bit from the stark black. So I am just going to take this color and just put it on the top of the mountain. And I am just going to kind of blend it down so it just fades out. Let me show you, because you really can't see it in the little monitor there. Let me hold it up so you can see. So you see how I just took that color and just spread it and just let it go. I just had it on the top. So the line at the top is a little more, I guess, prevalent, and then we're gonna let it go down and give it that nice gradient. There we go. This art journal page is all done. There we go. Oh, I love how this turned out. I love that the mountains there. I think that was just the perfect touch for this page. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this art journal page. That's not in my art journal anymore, but yeah. You can do it in your art journal, but you know what I mean. It was in an art journal, but you know what I mean. I hope you enjoyed this art journal page. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, I have 2 Instagrams. I have Take Time to Create, which is all my crafty goodies, and I have Linda's Journey 78, which is my personal journey, just on my friends, family, and all that good stuff. I also have a blog and a website. All of that information is in the description box down below. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next time.